I have Bigfoot hearts here that I want to show you all, and these are the hearts from the Bigfoot from September 23rd, 1953. Originally, my father, he had these hearts in jars, and they were in the garage for some time in the basement, and then he took them out of the jars because he said the jars, they were in fluid that was highly flammable. Now, I don't know what the process is that he used, but he dried these out, and they're dry. And I'm telling you, I'm going to get right up on here with a camera. There's a lot of people that think that I'm a hoaxer, and you know, I'm not. This is real. This really happened. These have been in my family for years, and straight up, all of these, they look biological, but at points, and they almost look like they have a mechanical aspect to them. I'm going to bring the camera in real close so that you can see. Now, I don't know what the process was that my father used to dry these out, but they are dry and they're not real heavy, so I'm wondering if he had them freeze-dried somehow. That's what I'm thinking. And one other thing about this is that my father told me this, I've been saying this the whole time, that Bigfoot have two hearts. That's what I thought my father said, but when I unpacked these, they were all together. So I'm starting to wonder if my father actually said that they had multiple hearts. I'm not sure. With that said, I have a juvenile Sasquatch, which is whole, which is going to be picked up, and it's going to be studied. And one of the things that they're going to do is an MRI. So we'll find out if a Sasquatch has 2 or 3 hearts. But the hearts, you'll see they are nothing like a human heart or any other heart from an animal from this planet. They're totally different, but you can see that they're hearts. Now, I'm going to bring a camera up real close so you can see that these are real. They're dried out, so they're not real heavy. I do think that my father passed away about five years ago, and I didn't get time to ask him what the process was that he used to dry these out. But they are so light that I'm almost pretty sure that they were freeze-dried. I think. I don't know. Now, all of them are very similar. They are. They're very, very similar in that there's like a right and a left ventricle on each of them. But then there's this here, which our heart doesn't have anything like that. And I think my father said that it was like an umbilical cord going to the other heart. So all of them have that. They all have like this umbilical vein, whatever. I don't know. They all have that. So maybe this is from one of the Sasquatch. Maybe they have 3. When my father butchered the Sasquatch, one thing that he said was that it was very, very tough to butcher. This one especially because they split it open and they were taking these out and they couldn't get the organs out. It was a problem. They had to use mechanical devices to cut veins and tendons. He said that they were stretchy, yet they were strong like steel. That's why my father was talking to John DuPont about, using this somehow. I swear to God, my father told me after John DuPont killed himself or got shot, whatever it was that happened to him, but he said that John DuPont was talking about using the Sasquatch somehow. I know this sounds crazy. This sounds really crazy. But to enhance the U.S. wrestling team. I swear to God, that's what he said. He said that John DuPont is a crazy mofo. That's what he was saying. But DuPont also and my father were thinking that it had military applications because the Sasquatch really is. It's totally different. By the way, talking about DNA, everybody's always like, get the DNA. It's not that simple. This isn't that simple. There's a lot at stake here. You can't just like give this to somebody. This has taken years to be in talks where I'm trusting this organization to take the juvenile Sasquatch and study it. So Think about it. Think about it. It's a Bigfoot. This is the only physical proof that we have. This is the only physical proof that we have. You don't just like call somebody up. You don't call ABC News and say, come on over. But with that said, we've had talks with ABC News, NBC, and one of the cable stations about doing a special. These are real. Let me bring a camera up real close so I can show you so that you can see these are not made out of paper mache. It's ridiculous. People say this. These are totally real. Let me get a camera. So if you look at this one here, you can see that this is like sort of cut away, and you can see this. It has like a sheath or something, like a biological sheath. I don't really. It just doesn't look like a heart of a mammal from this planet, but it clearly is it is a heart. They're big. I'll tell you one thing, if you think about the size of a human heart, these are much larger. They are much larger. Get up close. You can make sure everybody. Like how would I make that? How would that be made? See what I'm saying? I'm not making this up. These are real. You can't make that. What do you think? That's a painting? You think that I painted that? Don't be silly. This is real. Everybody's life is going to change soon. It is. It's going to change. Everybody's going to find out that Sasquatch, Bigfoot are real, and they are not from this planet. They're definitely not from this planet. I want to snip some of this off. It's really tough. See? It's tough. It's like it's sort of bendable still, but it's tough. My dad said to cut through it, you have to use cable cutters. It's not paper mache. It's not wax. It's not, it's not whatever you think. It's not. It is. Oops. It's a Bigfoot heart. It's several Bigfoot hearts. You can see. It's nothing like a human heart. Like absolutely not even close. My father said that they were very, very difficult to kill, and this was one of the reasons that they were difficult to kill, was that they have multiple hearts. Also, parts of the Sasquatch, which, by the way, I'm just preparing everybody. This is going to be looked at, and you all keep talking about DNA, DNA, DNA. There's nothing to compare it to, okay? I've already been told that I will be able to pick the name of the animal, and I've already picked the name. It's Caine's wetland skunk ape. That's what it is. People will still call it Bigfoot, of course, but it's Caine's wetland skunk ape. That will be the scientific name. Canis skuncus apus. Look at this one. All these are really dry. They weigh not much. They don't weigh too much. They probably weigh under 10 pounds a piece. They're not real heavy. I don't know how heavy they would be if they, when they came out of the animal, but a lot of the Sasquatch seems heavier at times than like a normal mammal, like a mammal from this planet. One, if parts of the Sasquatch, I said this in another video, people think I'm making this up, but parts of the Sasquatch are magnetic. The feet and the hands. The hearts, no, they're not. But so if it's around metal, it feels heavier because the metal's pulling it towards it. But these are real. They're totally real. Look again. I mean, it's clearly it's not wax. It's just people say ridiculous things. I know it's shocking. It's totally shocking, but these are real. And it really doesn't look like a heart from any animal on this planet. All the hearts from, if like even look at like a fish heart, it looks so similar to other animals' hearts on this planet. This looks totally different, and it has this aspect of biological and then like mechanical. Like the veins seem like there's like it's mechanical. They're all like that. See? Now, it is a great thing that my father owned a slaughterhouse with Morty Lucas so that they could keep everything frozen. And then after they shut the slaughterhouse down, then we had freezers around my house. But with these, like I've talked to, some of the scientists I've been dealing with, and they've been quite clear that it isn't the best thing that these were in formaldehyde, but it's great that, they're intact, they're whole, and that the body parts in the juvenile Sasquatch has remained frozen. So these are just cool, and I'll just keep storing them like this because they're all dried out. They're totally dried out. They're fine in these containers. So it's nice. I don't have to worry about refrigeration, backup generators, that kind of stuff. And to be perfectly honest, having somebody come pick up the juvenile Sasquatch, I'm real excited about because it's one less thing that I have to worry about. At that point, signing all the documents and everything, the non-disclosure agreements, all this has taken a long time, but now it's their responsibility. If anything happens to the juvenile Sasquatch, I'm going to be repaid, but it doesn't matter. Nothing's going to happen to the Sasquatch. It's going to be studied, and more than likely, it will end up in a museum at some point. You can't just say, "Oh, I have proof that Bigfoot and Sasquatch exist," and call up, call up NBC or whatever, and have people coming over to your house. I've had to be very careful with this, and I had to make the correct decisions. So, you trying to give me advice on what to do, or saying like, show us the DNA results, that is really one of the most mindless things I've ever heard. It is. It's so mindless. What would it say? What would it say? It's going to be, what's going to mean more than the DNA testing? I've already discussed this with the people that are looking at it. It's the MRIs, the X-rays, all that stuff is going to be great. The DNA, yeah, sure, it has DNA, but there's nothing to compare it to. That's what I'm saying, that I get to choose the name, and I've already chosen the name, and that's Caine's Wetland Skunk Ape. All right? Get that in your head. Now, Canis skuncus apis or Apis skuncus canis, I haven't made the decision yet. But it's Caine's Wetland Skunk Ape. they're cool, right? They're cool. They don't look like any hearts from any animals on this planet, and there's a lot of things about the Sasquatch that are just so unlike anything from this planet. Its feet and hands are magnetic, so you get them close to anything metal, and they feel real heavy. They feel real heavy. My dad noticed this. One of the boats that they had was a flat bottom metal boat, and as soon as they were putting the Sasquatch in there, they were like trying to drag it, and they couldn't even drag the parts in there. It's tough. So if something weighs, 200 pounds, then all of a sudden it's going to weigh, 275 pounds. So it's an amazing creature, and it really has. It's been a lot of stress doing this, and coming out with these body parts and the juvenile Sasquatch and the Frogman. Now the Frogman, that was acquired on the same day, September 23rd, 1953, and that too, we're in talks with the same people, checking that one out too, like doing MRIs. They're going to hold on to it for a while, and there's going to be a documentary. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. Sasquatch and Bigfoot is real. I'm just telling you right now, Sasquatch and Bigfoot are not from this planet. There's no way. And I would suspect that the Frogman that they acquired that day too, the Frogman walked up out of the water and collapsed. Now they salted the Frogman, and that too is going to be looked at too. That's all dried out, but I know that it was not the same process as this. There's no way. The Frogman, I believe that my dad said that they put it in like a box and poured salt over it, like it was a fish. With these, it seemed, I think that he had them freeze dried somehow. He might have made a freeze dryer actually. So there you go. I showed you these. I told you it's real. I'm not a hoaxer. I'm not faking. This isn't fake. It's real. And the other important thing that you all should take notice, I really do think that Bigfoot is some kind of cyborg. That's the way it looks. Those veins just don't look normal. They don't. You can see that throughout any of the Bigfoot body parts. You'll see stuff popping up that has a familiarity. It looks familiar to things that I've seen, but it's just different. The fact that my dad had to use mechanical devices to cut the Bigfoot up, that alone right there would tell you that it's not from this planet.